So what I'd like to do is try to give you a better idea of exactly how this works. So if we take a look at the yin yang symbol, a notan is essentially the idea that the elements of light and dark are both equally important because you can't have one without the other. You can't have negative space without positive space. For instance, if we look at these two shells and we break it up into a notan, it just is light and dark. You can sort of see that they're shells, but they're generally just shapes. And then if we take it a step further and add one layer of value into it, we can get a better idea that we have more shape. They're starting to have some depth, but it's still a little flat. And in this particular painting style, we're not really going to try to make things rounder pretty much. It's going to be a bit more graphic because it's has that digital quality to it by using the Notan, but it's still going to be really interesting and very effective. And then as we continue to add more layers of value, you can see that it's going from flat to another layer of value where we can see more shape. And if we increase the values and layers, then we start to get more shape. The difference with this painting style that we will be doing is that I'm not going to try to soften any of the edges. I'm going to try to encourage those specific layers to show through. And then if we continue adding more value to our image, you can see it becomes more realistic. But that's not really my goal. And when it comes to making a Notan, you don't necessarily have to use a digital program. You can actually make one just by using a big black marker. Now, as I started to do my own paintings, I did run into some struggles, especially using the masking. Now, the masking is something that I usually wouldn't use in most paintings because I don't want that really hard edge. But for this particular style of painting, I really wanted to use it. So if you look at these shells right behind me, those are little paintings that I used 140-pound Fabriano watercolor paper and stretched them onto a old canvas. I ripped off the canvas and then used the stretcher bars for that. What I wanted was a really crisp edge, and that's why I used the masking. We can always not use masking and just do a little negative painting, but I think we're going to start with this process and see how you might like it and how it can get incorporated into your own painting style. So let's get started.